Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. And today we are diving into something super exciting, which is Azure Voice Live API. This feature is still in preview, so it is very good to get to know about this before it is in the production. So if you have ever tried building a voice bot, you know how messy it can get juggling with your speech to text and text to speech. Along with that, we need to stitch AI logic with all these different services. But the good news here is Microsoft has just dropped a game changer, which is a unified solution for all these things. This solution can handle this solution can listen to us, this can do reasoning for us, as well as it will in turn talk with us. So this is happening everything in a very real time. Now, whether you are building a customer support, whether you are in the education field, or even if you are doing some sort of automation, then this API makes voice agents faster, smarter, and very easy to deploy. So in this video, I will walk you through this Azure Voice API and we'll see how we can get started with it. So first, let's understand what exactly this Azure Voice Live API is. So it's a real-time voice interaction service that combines all these three core capabilities. So the first one here is speech to text, then we have LLM reasoning, and then we have text to speech. So till now you must have used Whisper in between, which can do this part for us, LLM part for us. And then you must be having two different APIs on both the ends. First one will convert your speech to text, then you will have text to speech so that end user can listen to what is happening. Now the best part with the Azure Voice Live API is it does all of these in just one seamless loop using WebSockets. So we need not to stitch all these three services together. Rather, this live API will do this job very perfectly for us, and it is very well suited for the use cases like when you are with the contact center chatbots, or when you are having the automotive assistants, when you want to build something autonomous without interacting much with in between APIs for these conversions. So I believe this is a perfect fit for lot many use cases because it is very fast, scalable, as well as it is designed for the real-time responsiveness, which we will see in a while. So let's have a quick look at how it works. So under the hood, these are the few things which are happening. The architecture which I'm showing here is very simple, but it depicts a very powerful flow. So it starts with the audio input. So audio input is streamed via WebSocket. Then Azure Speech API handles this transcription part for us, and that same transcribed text is sent to the Azure AI agent. Now, this agent could be your LLM, it could be your custom LLM, it could be anything which can play a role of a large language model here. Now, if you are doing with Azure, you can definitely go with the Foundry agent, or you can deploy any agent which is available in the Azure today. Now, once the agent generates a response, Azure TTS will convert that response into a speech, and that is a speech which a user is eventually hearing back. And all this flow, the entire thing is done within milliseconds, or I would say even less than that. So you won't feel any lag in between when you are speaking and you are getting the response back. So if you want to enhance this flow, you can even integrate the Azure communication services to handle your incoming calls. You can even connect this to the phone calls as well. So that's all about Azure Voice Live API, which is, again, let me reiterate, it is a unified low latency pipeline for building truly conversational voice agents. So if you are working with Azure AI Foundry, I think this is the best solution for you. So let's see how we can get started with it. The very first thing we need is the active Azure subscription. So I'm on my Azure portal, I have already logged in, and the very first thing you can do is you can go ahead and create a resource of Azure AI Foundry. So if it is not visible on your screen, you can search it up over here, and here you will see Azure AI Foundry. Go to this Foundry and create a new resource. Now again, this particular feature is not available in all the regions, so make sure to check out the documentation before creating any resource for use. So I'm using East US 2, And what you can do here is you can select the resource group, you can provide some unique name for your Foundry resource, select the proper region based on the documentation, because by the time you're watching this video, I'm sure something must have changed. So it is always recommended to check out the updated documentation. And once these fields are furnished, you just click on next and it will go ahead and create a Foundry resource for you. As it is going to take few seconds, I have already created one resource for us. So this is the one I have created. Let me go to this particular Foundry portal. And here on the top right, you can see it is in East US2. So East US2. So you can also get started with this particular region if you're not sure about any other regions. So now, when we are dealing with Foundry or the things with inside this, what we usually do is we used to go and deploy the models and the endpoints. But in this case, we are not going to do any of these things. Let's go directly to the playgrounds. And here you can see the speech playground. So click on this one, and here you can see it is still in preview. Now go till the end, and here you will see the Voice Live feature, which is, you can see here it is in preview. So click on this one, and it will open up few things for us in the bottom panel. So on the left hand side, you can see these are the various samples which you can try. So let's say I'm selecting the casual chat, and on the right hand side you have many settings which you can do. So the very first setting here is using the model, selecting the models. So these are the models which you can use it when you are experimenting with this Voice Live feature. So you can select any one of these, but the preferred one is GPT-4o real time. It will give you very good response. Then we have the response instruction, which is nothing but how you will define your voice agent, what this voice agent is all about. So there you need to provide all the instructions which can define the personality for this particular voice agent. Then we have the response temperature. We have seen that the temperature handles the randomness. So the same thing applies here too. So depending on how variation you want in your responses, you can tweak these parameters, this particular temperature parameter. Then we have the proactive engagement. So how do you want your engagement to be? Let's say you are talking and you are taking a long pause. How do you want the system to treat? Do you want your chatbot to, or the voice bot to go ahead and speak when you are taking a so long pause, or how do you want to? So if you want to proactive engagement, just toggle it on and it will interrupt you in case if you are not talking for a long. Here we have the speech inputs. So the very first thing is the language. There are many languages. In fact, these are many more languages than we were having in our real-time voice API, which was released last year. So here we have like more than 100 languages I can see. So if you want, you can select the one which you are speaking, or even you can leave it as an auto detect. Then we have like the activity detection. Inside this we have two basic server and the Azure semantics. So basic server is simply the basic I would say basic version of it, in which, let's say if you're talking and taking a pause, then it will wait for some time and immediately pitch in and start doing conversation for you. But when you're talking about the Azure semantic vet, this is a little bit more intelligent. Let's say you are talking, you are taking a pause, you are thinking, you are using some filling words, then this Azure semantic vet version will wait for you until you are finished. So see which one you are looking for. I would personally prefer the Azure semantic vet. Now we have the end of utterance. How do you want to know the system that, okay, I'm done? So let me quickly point it. It detects when the user has stopped speaking. So if you want to utilize that feature, you can just turn it on and it will do it. Now in my case, it is not working because this particular feature, this model is not supporting this particular feature, and that's what you can see here. So it is saying as of today, GPT-4o real-time or GPT-4o mini real-time model doesn't support this end of utterance. So if you want to utilize this feature, make sure that you are selecting some other model from this list. Then we have the audio enhancement. It is mainly for the noise cancellation and echoing features. So let's say if you are switching it on, then you will get these two features which can be handled. So if you are toggling it off, it will definitely not handle this echo and the noise suppression. Okay, so next thing is the phrase list. Let's say you are making a voice bot which is very specific to your organization or very specific to your business, then you can provide the known words, because voice bot may not be aware of your business terms. So in that case, you can provide those things here. So this is the phrase list, and here you can read what this is talking about. So again, this real-time 4.0 is not supporting, but if you want to provide some list, you can change the model and go ahead with this. Then we have the speech output. So what kind of voice do you want? So these are the various voices. So let's say if I'm...
Hey again, Elizabeth. Amazing. Well,
so
I'm
this
happy
is...
to hear you like my suggestions for 4-star
Then
hotels
if I'm
in
selecting
Florence.
this, I will have different. So you can select which voice do you want. You can even create your custom voice. You can click on this, and these are the various options. So definitely I will cover this some other time, rather than experimenting it in this video. So I'm going back to my casual chat, and we were at... And then we do have this speaking rate. What is the rate, or how you want your output to be? You do want faster, slower, or how you can tweak this particular parameter and you will get the response. Then we have the custom lexicon. So this is, let's say you have some different kind of pronunciation, or the way you pronounce certain words differently based on your organization or your business needs, then you can provide it here. So what you can do is you can toggle it on, and here it will ask you the URL for your lexicon file which you have uploaded somewhere. So you can just browse it and you are good to go. Then another nice feature here is for avatars. So here you can see, you can just toggle it on, and these are the various avatars you can see here. You can choose any one of these and it will just appear over here. Apart from this, you can also go ahead and create your own avatars. As soon as I will click on apply, you will see that it is appearing over here. And you can create your own custom avatars as well. So feel free to do that as well. I'm just going to toggle it off. Then there is something called the content logging. If you want your logging to be enabled, just switch it on. So that's all about the settings part. Let's quickly try out something.
Hey there, glad you called. What's on your mind today?
Hi Zara, it's a beautiful day outside and I'm planning to go and do some activities. So do you have any suggestion for that?
Hey, great to hear you're making the most of the day. Well, there's hiking if you're into nature, or maybe a casual bike ride. If you're near water,
I don't like mountains and hiking. I'm not that kind of person.
Got it. Mountains aren't for everyone. Maybe something more urban, like exploring a new part of your city, visiting a museum, or even a food tour. Or if you're looking for...
So here you can see how nicely she was responding. So although I interrupted in between, she was able to stop and understand my concern, and then she responded accordingly. So that's how nicely it is, and you must have not noticed any lag altogether. So it was very fast, very quick, and that's the reason I like this particular new feature a lot. So if you're working with Azure Foundry, I think this pairs beautifully with our agentic workflows. So in my next videos, maybe I can share a detailed tutorial on how you can deploy this with the Foundry agents. So make sure that you subscribe this channel and hit the bell icon. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in next one.